The Cursed Child has been out for nearly 9 months, and I am yet to make a video about it. And if you've ever wondered why I've never made a video about it, it's because I don't really like it. And today, I'm gonna make a video about why I don't like it. So yeah, let's go! Hello there! How are you doing? Okay, first things first, there are going to be spoilers for The Cursed Child in this video, but seriously, if you haven't read or seen The Cursed Child, can you just ask yourself the question, why did you click on a video called Does The Cursed Child Ruin the Harry Potter series? Because, like, I also want to point out I haven't yet seen the play. I do have tickets for it though for March 2018. But I do have a few friends who've seen it and they all said it's very good in production. So today, I'm not going to be criticising the play itself, I'm just going to be criticising the story and asking the question, does the storyline ruin the Harry Potter series? And first things first, when it comes to the story, you can tell it isn't really written by J.K. Rowling. Like, I know her name's on the big letters on the front of the book, but realistically, once you get a few pages in, you can tell it's been written by John Tiffany and Jack Thorne. Not that this is a problem, it just means it doesn't fit as well with the rest of the series because it isn't the same style. However, the fact it isn't the same style shouldn't and wouldn't be a problem because it's clearly different. Harry Potter book series are actual books written about Harry's time at school which were then made into movies. This is a play about Harry's life about 19 years after he finished school. It's clearly different, which is why I wouldn't even consider it in the same sentence as the rest of the Harry Potter series. Not even anything to do with the quality of content put on the paper, just the fact they don't flow into each other. I'd rather consider this to be some sort of like Harry Potter fan fiction. Upon reaching Ron's room, Harry's tongue met with Victor's, and for a moment they were sharing saliva. Yep, it's true. Harry Potter fanfiction is as weird as they say it is. And this is why it annoys me that it's called the 8th story and everything, because it isn't. I don't personally believe it's canon, and I'll get back into reasons why later, but more importantly, it isn't the 8th story. The 7 books follow Harry's story, year by year, as he goes to Hogwarts at first and then takes on Voldemort towards the end. But this book takes place over the course of like 4 years, and Harry isn't even the main character. Realistically, it should be called Albus Potter and the Cursed Child, if even that. Because if I'm honest, the title is very vague. No one even knows who the Cursed Child is. Like, when I first read it, I just assumed it was Delphine, but after watching a certain video on the topic, I potentially thought maybe it's Albus who's the Cursed Child. And I guess in that case, the book can't be called Albus Potter and the Cursed Child, because then it would just be Albus Potter and himself. So I guess if Albus Potter is the Cursed Child, then I'll let them off for calling it Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, because it's like Harry Potter and his Cursed Child. I kind of get that. But I still don't think it should be considered the 8th story, because it really just isn't part of the Harry Potter series. And I don't think J.K. Rowling really considers it to be canon either. Okay, that may be a bit of a stretch, but there are definitely some things that are said in The Cursed Child that go against stuff that is said in the Harry Potter books, and things said on Pottermore. For example, Hermione becoming Minister of Magic just seems completely against everything we know about her character. Like, maybe you disagree, but in my opinion, I never saw Hermione going into politics. Also, if you go onto Pottermore and search up the Ministers for Magic, Kingsley Shacklebolt is still considered to be Minister of Magic from 1998 to present, showing J.K. Rowling hasn't even included it on her website. She hasn't actually included anything from The Cursed Child on Pottermore, which might imply that it's not canon, or might just imply that she's trying to, you know, hashtag keep the secret. So, again, it was a bit of a stretch. Also, in this play, Cedric Diggory becomes a Death Eater. Like, I'm refusing to accept J.K. Rowling wrote that. Like, he's one of the last wizards I could ever imagine becoming a Death Eater. Cedric Diggory killed only one wizard, and not a significant one. Neville Longbottom. Unless you can get video proof of J.K. Rowling saying Cedric Diggory is a Death Eater and that he killed Neville Longbottom, I'm just going to refuse to believe the Cursed Child's canon. Until then, it is wrong. I know it's an alternate timeline and everything, but I'm just unwilling to accept that a Hufflepuff like Cedric Diggory could turn evil. Just to revert back to Pottermore again, if you are sorted into Hufflepuff, it literally says on the Hufflepuff page that they have produced the fewest Dark Wizards. And the fact that not just a Hufflepuff, but a significantly well-known Hufflepuff like Cedric Diggory, who won the Triwizard Tournament, could have potentially been head boy, had the potential to become a Death Eater, is just like mind-boggling to me. Okay, sorry, I feel like I've been ranting about why I don't like The Cursed Child rather than talking about why it doesn't fit into the Harry Potter series. Because I think the real reason I do dislike it is because it kind of ruins the Harry Potter series for me. Like, after reading this book, you might as well just throw the Goblet of Fire away. Because in The Cursed Child, they mess with the storyline in the Goblet of Fire, and now the events of the Goblet of Fire are incorrect. Like, next time you watch the Harry Potter series, if you consider The Cursed Child to be canon, everything that happens from about this moment onwards will happen slightly differently because of the way the Cursed Child deals with time travel. And this is because they mess with the way time turners work. I I literally love the way time travel works in The Prisoner of Azkaban, because it doesn't mess around with alternate timelines like most other films about time travel. All the events that happened after they went back in time had already happened and affected their decisions when they went back in time. They didn't even really time travel, they theoretically kind of just like cloned themselves into the past. And those things that the clones of them did had already done it by the time the time turner had been used. If you're confused, don't worry, it isn't an insult to your intelligence, so's Hermione.
I saw myself conjuring the Patronus before. I knew I could do it this time because, well, I'd already done it. Does that make sense?
No!
But in The Cursed Child, they decide to bring alternate universes to the Harry Potter world, which is just not how time turners are known to work. And I know these are like a different kind of time turners, but I'm still not supportive of the way they work. Like, I don't believe that parallel universes exist in the Harry Potter universe, and that is something I really like about the Harry Potter universe. Because alternate universes never featured nor were mentioned in the books. I do want to point out that the authors of the play did try to undo the events which changed the future and humiliated Cedric Diggory into losing the Triwizard Tournament. They did go to an effort to putting a few pages into resolving these problems. Like, this is the amount of the book they put forward to restoring the timeline. And to be honest, most of it is completely glossed over and doesn't even happen on stage. And I just want to draw your attention to this conversation that Albus Potter and Scorpius Malfoy have with a young Hermione when they're time travelling back into 1994. "If you're going to stand so close, I'd rather you didn't breathe on me quite so much," said Hermione. "Rose, what are you doing here?" said Scorpius. "Who's Rose? And what's happened to your accent?" "Sorry, Hermione, he's got you mixed up with someone else," said Albus. "How do you know my name?" said Hermione. That's a part of the past that is never restored, which means it's impossible for the Harry Potter books to remain exactly as they are. Because this small conversation with Hermione, Albus, and Scorpius will alter the timeline the tiniest bit, enough to change the future. Like, Hermione isn't just going to forget about a conversation she had with a young Durmstrang student who somehow had an English accent and also looked a bit like Harry. The fact she even meets Albus and Scorpius changes the future, but it's very likely she's also going to bring up this conversation with Albus with Harry and Ron. And if she does bring this conversation up with them, every future conversation after this will be a little bit different. And you thought I was crazy saying it ruined the series. Like, yeah, they obviously both happen to have the same end result where Harry defeated Voldemort, Ron ended up with Hermione, and Harry ended up with Ginny. But every so often, a little thing or a conversation will just be a little different. Meaning that for this book to be considered canon, every event after this event is slightly different and on an alternate timeline to the events in the books and movies. Which is why I believe this book ruins the series, because if you believe this book to be canon, all the events that occur after The Prisoner of Azkaban aren't quite canon. So you might as well throw away your copies of The Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, and Deathly Hallows, because if The Cursed Child's canon, they're not. Either that, or we can just pretend that The Cursed Child isn't part of the Harry Potter series. It's up to you. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you like The Cursed Child? Have you seen the play? Do you agree with me that it ruins the Harry Potter series? If you do, make sure to leave a like. Check out my other social medias in the description. Click subscribe here. Watch a Harry Potter theory here. And watch a video about me defending Hufflepuff pride here. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Oh, I actually put an outro in that video. Wow, go me.